We have something quite outstanding to show you today. This is a 2019 on a 19 registration Bentley Continental GTC. The C is for convertible and it's the W12 version. Now this is the first of this generation, which is the completely overhauled new generation Bentley Continental. It is miles ahead of its predecessor, and this particular example is finished in dark sapphire metallic, which is one of my favorite, all-time favorite Bentley colors. It's a deep, deep, rich blue that has sort of shades of purple in certain lights, and when it is polished, when it looks the way it does today under these lights, there is nothing like it. It's one of the most just stunning Bentley colors that they have to offer. Now this example is a one owner from new car. It's covered just over 20,000 miles and it has a full Bentley main dealer service history. So a really, really outstanding example. I'm going to try and show you around as much of it as I can. There are details on details on details. It is Bentley through and through, and the build quality is every bit as good as I expected it to be. I still believe that they build the best cars in the world in terms of the finish, the hand finish, the attention to detail that is spent on these vehicles. So we'll start at the front end, we'll go from there, we'll go all the way around the car. But as we are at the front of the car, that imposing front end, it's completely redesigned, completely resculptured for this generation. And at the heart of it in the middle is the completely overhauled W12, the 6-litre twin-turbo W12, which now has an output of 626 brake horsepower and a mind-blowing 900 Newton meters of torque. So I believe I read one article and it said this car redefines wafting. Well, huge power, 207 mile an hour top speed, but it doesn't feel like that when you drive it. It is just so refined, so calm. Now, we'll start at the front end. Obviously, a very typical Bentley chrome front grille and the Bentley B and that famous badge. And they're really, really wide front end, but it is sort of lower and smoother, and the lines are all a bit, you know, sharper around the front of the car compared to the old model. And you have these fabulous new LED matrix headlights at the front here, and they are absolutely stunning. They have almost like a diamond effect when they're on. And when the car, at the end of the video, I'll try and show you, we'll put the lights on, we'll try and show you how pretty they are. They are a work of art on their own. Coming round the passenger side front flank, you've got these 21-inch 5 split spoke alloy wheels. They're actually, for me, they're finished in a metallic silver paint, a gloss metallic silver paint, and I actually think it's really pretty. It breaks up that lovely dark sapphire blue. It's a really classic looking Bentley, this one. Definitely one for the enthusiast, for the Bentley purist, this particular model, the way it's been specified. A nice addition for the new generation, you get these sort of side grills in the lower flanks of the front wings. Again, the 12 there indicates the W12, the cylinders that the car has, and I think that's a really lovely detail that's put in there. It's all etched in, it's very, very nicely done. Again, very typical Bentley build quality. Everything's been updated. This lovely chrome line at the bottom of the door here, that's carried over from the previous generation, but again, everything's adapted, adjusted, modified, it's all new. And then have a look inside. The interior for me is the biggest step change between the two generations. This particular example has a Beluga black main hide and an Imperial blue secondary hide. So that's the top of the dash, the sides of the seats, the door cards. And then another lovely cost option, the piano black veneer throughout with this lovely metal stripe that goes through the middle of that amazing rotating screen, but I'll show you that in a minute. And all the way through and around the side and just carries on all the way around the door cards. A really lovely, lovely feature. Something I also like is on the inside of the door handles here. It's really hard to see it, and you probably can't see it, but they're a metal door handle and they're knurled on the inside. So just detail everywhere. Typical Bentley. And if the cameraman steps back, I'm going to do my best to show you this, but these doors are quite incredible. So wherever you stop them, they hold. So if you're parked on a slight incline and you open the door and they're a big heavy door, if you just push it, they hold. And they've got this amazing, I assume it's mechanical, but this amazing feature, if I just give it a little push, just to get it off, they just close themselves. You just need to give it a little tiny touch and the door actuator almost just brings the door back in. It is a fabulous, fabulous feature, something really small that I picked up when using the car, and I couldn't believe it. I was blown away by it. A really small detail, but actually a really, really handy one, because the old model had such heavy doors, and if you got out on a hill in London or something like that, the door would swing back towards you. So something they've addressed, but just really beautifully addressed. The rear lights carry on that theme as the fronts. You've got this lovely sort of diamond effect inside the actual light unit in there. Really, really stunning. And another little design feature is that the light and the exhaust tip itself are a very similar shape, and I believe that is just a piece of design to continue that look at the back and give the back a bit of symmetry. And the back end is narrow. I would say it's shorter than the previous car. The previous car was a lot squarer at the back. This is a much more elegant back end of the car than the previous model, and I really, really like it. I think Bentley have done something just wonderful with the design on this car, and the details keep coming. So if you look inside the exhaust tip, you might not see it, but there's just little cutouts that are all the same shape as the actual exhaust tip itself and that rear light, and they're just cut out inside that exhaust pipe there. And I just, as I say, the attention to detail when building this car, when designing it, it's mind-blowing for me. This is a nice feature that was carried over. You just push the Bentley B for your power tailgate. It is a much faster power tailgate than the last model, and it's a different system because the previous model had lots of issues. This is obviously a completely new actuator system, different hinges as well to run it, a much sort of beefier looking system. You've got a fairly big boot because it's a GTC, it's convertible, so the boot is slightly compromised, but it's still massive. You're still fitting golf clubs and things like that in there. And then it has got its Bentley wind deflector in here as well, which obviously is a lovely feature. Boot comes down very nicely, and we'll continue around the driver's side. Another feature here, the alloy filler cap is carried over from the previous model, so a really nice touch. Obviously you've got your Bentley B badge on the top of it. And again, we'll come down the driver's side, and you just look at that lovely line across the driver's side all the way down. Hell of a car. Now, I'll jump in, I'll try and show you some more of these features. Again, look at the door. I mean, it just stops. Wherever you leave it, just genius. I'll jump in and try and run you through the interior of this car, and there is so much to talk about. It is one of the most exciting interiors I've ever sat in terms of just the way it looks. I've never felt the same way in a car than when I'm in one of these. It's just another world of luxury compared to other manufacturers. So we'll start on the door card, and again, door's holding itself. You've got blind spot monitoring here, which is a lovely option that this car has got. That's on the inside of your mirrors. Then down here you've got obviously everything you'd expect. 4 electric windows, electric folding mirrors that are heated, and then you've got your memory function for the driver there, and another boot release for the rear boot there, the electric tailgate at the back there. You've got a button here that will shut all 4 windows at once, so if you did press that button, the roof comes down, you want to drop all the windows in one go, you can do so. And then a lovely new feature, these are now, obviously before they started on a button, but it was a very small sort of subtle button. Now you've got this massive driver control system in the middle of the car, and that incredible screen that hopefully you saw turn around. I'll do it again. So this screen, this rotating display, is a £4,700 cost option. It's one of the most impressive things I've seen fitted to a car. The dials on this rotation are stunning. The compass in the middle, I beg your pardon, I was lost for words there. The compass in the middle moves so smoothly when you're driving. It's actually amazing to watch. If you press the screen again, it rotates back to the sat nav and the whole multimedia display here, which is brilliant. And this is all modern now. So the previous model had a very old system that they half updated near the end of its life, but to be perfectly honest, it was never very good. You now have Apple CarPlay, you have all the map systems here. It all runs off of this system down on the right hand side, but you plug your phone in, you have Apple CarPlay. It's got everything that you want. You can run your climate control through here, the car's adjustments for all its drive modes, its suspension modes, all of the safeguards, etc., all run through here. All the drive controls now are handled by this circle in the middle of this switch pack down here. So currently it's set to Bentley B mode, but you've got sport, comfort, and you obviously can adjust everything yourself for a custom mode. Heated seats, and then obviously your reverse camera, and this is a nice touch. You push the B down, you push it forward, you engage a gear. Massive reverse camera, obviously left and right. with all your guidelines and everything that you would imagine in a vehicle like this. And the W12 definitely sounds more refined. I know it's been massively overhauled for this car, for this generation of Bentley, but it sounds more refined, it's smoother, it's quieter on startup, but it has different modes that open the valves in the exhausts to give it that sort of meaty noise that you want when you're really pushing the car. Dual zone climate control, and again, I can't emphasize enough how well this is all made. All the switches and everything just feels of such high quality. Your electric steering column is under here. It's a slightly modified switch compared to the old system, so some people may lose it, but it is down here. And then even down to the little dials, the little switch pack sections on the steering wheel, these little dials to adjust the volume, I mean, even they are knurled. And on that note, this car comes as standard with a 650 watt 10 speaker stereo system, so the stereo in it as standard is fabulous. You've got the new display up here, which is an Audi derived system, but it's fabulous. So you've got a digital cockpit which you can adjust the view on. So if you have it set like this and I go to the map, you can have the whole right hand side set as a map, but if I press view, you can have your twin speedos come up, so your two dials come up. So it's a really lovely system, very user friendly, much like the Audi sort of relative system that it's got. And everything in here just works. My heated seats come on, I've got cruise control down here. You've got these fabulous metal gear shift paddles as well behind the steering wheel. Even the stalks for the indicators and the wipers are just of such high quality. A really wonderful place to sit, a wonderful place to be. Loads of cubby holes, an updated key, which is very special. Obviously you've got your USB slots in there, big cup holders, everything exactly as you would imagine it needs to be. And what I will do as a final touch, because it being a convertible, is I will run the roof to show you that the roof operates and to show you the speed with which the roof operates, because for such a big car, it's got to cover such a large space, it actually runs very fast. It's a very efficient roof. And the boot will shut, and then obviously the windows will lift themselves. And what I will do is I'll leave it running and I'll just jump out and try and have a look at those headlights, like I said at the beginning of the video. If you can just see the detail, I mean, you don't need to get too close, but you can see the detail in there. It's quite amazing. The little diamond details in the lights, a really wonderful design feature. Obviously all electric seats with lumbar support as well. I'm sure I missed that at the beginning. And then obviously, being a Bentley, soft closed doors as you would imagine. So to summarize for you, it's a 2019 on a 19 registration Bentley Continental GTC W12. One owner from new, 20,000 miles with a full Bentley main dealer service history, finished exquisitely in dark sapphire metallic with a Beluga and Imperial blue hide interior. It is just outstanding. It's got that amazing 4,700 pound rotating display. It's everything you'd want in a GT convertible car. My name is Matthew. I hope the video's helped. Thank you for watching.